Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Peace be unto you. I love you, brothers and sisters. Happy to be here in front of you. I'm ready to deal with the subject at hand. Ready to certainly deal with the subject at hand. I was happy to have our brother, Tall Iman, to come in. This brother has knowledge. He certainly has knowledge, and this knowledge can help us. This knowledge will help us and teach us necessary lessons. And that's what we need, necessary lessons to keep us on our toes, so to speak. We have a lot that's going to come before us. The white man is preparing. You're not preparing, brothers and sisters. But the white man is preparing, and that's the danger. That's the danger of all this. While he's getting ready, we're not getting ready. We're sitting back. And I really don't understand what's going on as far as our people are concerned. If we don't do something, to protect ourselves, we'll be in a lot of danger that we can't control. We're in danger now. And we'll continue to die if we don't prepare ourselves to live. If we don't prepare ourselves to live, we'll continue to die. And I don't know about you, brothers and sisters, but I want to live. I certainly want to live. So my desire and my prayer is to stand for God, to put out truth. We need it in our community. We need it in our religious circles. That's my desire and prayer. And I pray that your desire and prayer is to embrace the truth. It's something we have to be willing to do. And the thing I like about it the most, as we wait on other brothers and sisters to get here, it doesn't take much. It doesn't take much except a sincere heart and an open mind. As we wait for our other brothers and sisters to get here, you see this subject. We're talking about Gene Roberts in the OAAU. When and where did Gene Roberts first pop up? This must be discussed. This was not his first time. Our first time seeing Gene Roberts. You just have to be reminded of it. You just got to be reminded of it. This is not our first time seeing Gene Roberts. Where have we seen him before? When did he pop up? You have to comb this with a fine-tooth comb, brothers and sisters. It's got to be with a fine-tooth comb. We understand what's going on. We have to take our time and observe all things. Observe everything that's going on. You got to do that. You see and understand how Gene Roberts came into the movement. It's going to shock you. You're going to be shocked. They didn't just find him. They didn't just find Gene Roberts. He was around the entire time. Brother Lucius told us that Gene Roberts had been in touch with the Muslim movement in the 50s. Now, Eugene 2X, right? Eugene 2X, talk about the Hamas movement. He knew of Gene Roberts. Gene Roberts had been poking his head in and out of the Muslim movement during the disillusion and department of Minister Malcolm. He's been around. Not somebody that Minister Malcolm didn't know. Somebody that he knew. He could recognize his face. He could recognize his face. So it's after the visit that he does to Cairo that Gene Roberts become particularly important. And after his return to the U.S., Minister Malcolm addressed a wide variety of audiences that Gene Roberts attended and pretended to be part of his security. He spoke regularly at the meetings held by the Muslim Mosque Incorporated, or the MMI, and the OAAU. Gene Roberts was there. He was there when Minister Malcolm was one of the most sought-out speakers on college campus. One of the top aides that wrote, he welcomed every opportunity to speak to college students. Notice Gene Roberts. That was Brother Earl. Brother Earl noticed Gene Roberts. He could point him out. He could identify his face. He was sent in from the CIA and FBI earlier on. Gene Roberts was. So we have a lot to talk about. Just waiting on the brothers and sisters to chime in, and I know we have a time difference for California, Arizona, Southern California, Oregon, and Las Vegas. I do understand that. They'll chime in later because when this live come in, it will come on a totally different time for them. But this whole thing is small. Gene Roberts was around when Malcolm addressed the meeting of the Socialist Workers Party. This is after he's coming out of the Nation of Islam. He didn't get out; he was put out. So we have a whole lot. We're gonna identify Gene Roberts. We're gonna identify Gene Roberts. Talk about this brother that is still walking around. That was one of the main people to assist in the successful assassination of Minister Malcolm X. And that's what we do to our leaders. We do that to our leaders. It's unfortunate, brothers and sisters. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate what we do to our leaders. It is unfortunate. We will stick the nail in the coffin of our leaders because it becomes commonplace for them to get killed. We accept the philosophy of martyrdom among our leaders because it is commonplace for them to get killed and for us to do nothing about it. It's commonplace. It's time out. We've got to get beyond that. We've got to create a new plan. We got to have a new plan. The old plan isn't working. We got to have a new plan. That plan has to be one that doesn't allow us to talk against our leaders. This is the new plan that we have to have. Too many of our leaders are dying, and it's too all right with too many of us. And it's too many of our leaders dying. Too many. So we've got to really pay attention to what's going on. Not the fake leaders. I know that Farrakhan is on his way out of here. Farrakhan is basically dead in another 4 years. He's going to pass. Let me see. Probably in another 4 to 6 years, Farrakhan is going to be gone, if not sooner. And what are the Nation of Islam? What those that are in the Nation of Islam under Farrakhan? It's important that I say that. It's important, very important that I say that, because I want you to understand that Farrakhan's nation is not real Islam. Not his Nation of Islam. It's not authentic. Not authentic. But for the sake of it, when Farrakhan goes, everything drops. And here's the thing. Everything that he taught, they're going to be taking forth. Right? The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said the white man is the devil. He said there's absolutely no salvation for them, right? Right? There's absolutely no salvation. Not according to Farrakhan. Not according to Farrakhan. Farrakhan believed that there's salvation. But God himself says that Satan will be destroyed in the 14th chapter of Isaiah. God himself says that Satan will be destroyed. I think I'm going to read that, brothers and sisters. That's Isaiah 14 and 14. You got to read it. Because you got to know. Because if not, you'll lose faith. You'll lose faith. If you don't know, you'll lose faith. And God has already told the end of the story. God has told the end of the story. Excuse me, brothers and sisters. I know you understand. God has already told the end of the story. See? The 14th chapter of the book of Isaiah, you look at the 14th verse, where Satan said, I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Here's God's response to him through Isaiah. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man? Cause the devil a man. Cause the devil a man. Is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms, that made the world as a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of his prisoners? This is the judgment of the ruler of Babylon, Satan. All the kings of the nations, even all of them, lie in glory, every one in his own house, but thou art cast out of thy grave like an abominable branch, and as the raiment of those that are slain, thrust through with the sword, that go down to the stone of the pit, as a carcass trodden underfoot. Thou shalt not be joined with them in burial, because thou hast destroyed thy land and slain thy people. The seed of evildoers shall never be renowned. This is God speaking this truth. Prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their father, that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. For I will rise up against them, saith the Lord of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name, the remnant, and son and nephew, saith the Lord. I will also make it a possession for the bidden pools of water, and I will sweep it with the besom of destruction, saith the Lord of hosts. And the 24th read, brothers and sisters, and the Lord of hosts has sworn, saying, surely I have thought, so shall it come to pass, as I have proposed or purposed, so shall it stand. So, brothers and sisters, as you can see, there is an end. As you can see, there is an end. The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that emphatically, no, he cannot be helped because his heart is full of evil. His heart is full of evil. I'm hoping our brother is getting ready to come on, because I know we had him on here sort of late. And the brother is working. He's a hard-working brother, author and magi, Rastafarian prophet and leader. And I pray that he can come on, because we want to talk more about brother Benjamin Goodman, 2X, Benjamin 2X Goodman. Talk about the sister. We want to talk about her. We want to talk about the other brothers, James 67X. And Wesley Muhammad is putting out a lot of information that is not accurate. Not accurate. And he's another agent, I believe. And Farrakhan knows it, because Farrakhan got him from the same association that he came from. So, and Nur Muhammad too. There's no black man in this world that I know that can write a book that is a million books, a bestseller. I don't believe that. So this is prime knowledge of his attachment to the government. Any black person they put in front of you that they speak well about, you have to be careful and understand this is a Muslim, right? The last I heard, ADL and all the other press was against Muslim. Here, top stars can't get a place on Vlad TV, but Nur Muhammad can. Nur Muhammad can. He's on Vlad TV. I want you to think about that, brothers and sisters. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? And you got to get wise. You have to get wise. You got to know what's going on. You got to know what's going on. So many people don't know. They're not even willing to touch it. I don't want to say anything against Farrakhan. Nobody's picking on Farrakhan. Nobody's picking on Farrakhan. We just want our brothers and sisters to know the truth. That's all. Just want to know exactly what's going on. Don't feed us that crap. Right? Because you're doing everything against the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and his teaching. So we just want to know what's going on. Right? There are Muslims in Farrakhan's camp. They won't say it, but they question a lot of stuff that he does. They question it over the years. I remember when he said on Donahue, I know my brothers and sisters are going to be mad about this, but one day white people would be allowed to join the Nation of Islam. The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad didn't tell that to you. See, that's something Farrakhan came up with himself because he's confused. He's indeed confused. So it's something that he came up with. And the rank and file Muslims don't know any better. The rank and file Muslims don't know any better. So it's like you can't expect a baby to have as much knowledge as an adult. You can't even expect an adult to have as much knowledge as an older adult. Right? We can't expect it. But in light that we know that knowledge is being misdirected, we should at some point put the truth out. And that's what we're trying to do now. I could talk about Farrakhan all day. You could pull this stuff up yourself. But to be able to push the truth out so the people will be able to see, that's a whole nother operation. So we have work to do, brothers and sisters. Oh, if you only knew how much work we have. We are losing our foothold. We haven't totally lost it, but it's almost gone. Because the news media and the metaverse now is taking the attention of all of our people. The news media and the metaverse now taking all our people's attention. It's really sad. It's really sad. It is so sad. I just don't know. If you don't wake up, if you don't wake up now, I just don't know. We've got to wake up, brothers and sisters. We spend more time fighting one another, and it's crazy. Really, it is crazy. Because I don't understand it. We spend more time fighting one another. I mean, the enemy is already fighting you, is already killing you. What more do you want? You're helping him. You're helping the enemy. You're helping him. I mean, we've already lost too many people. Too many. And it's like the black woman is against the black man is against the black woman, the black children against the black family against the black children. Children disrespect their ancestors. They don't study. the knowledge that they were trying to put out. And you have a lot of sellouts alive today that betrayed their ancestors. That's a fact. We have to be sick and tired. We've got to be fed up with the action of Judases within our community. We got to be fed up. It's time out now for running for crowds or speaking before large. You shouldn't do that. Speeches before large crowds or lead. Seek for large groups of people to lead. Brothers and sisters, time out for that. It's time for us to get the information out and be strategic to say, hey, I've laid this line down. Now it's up to somebody else to pick it up. Because soon people will pull the information that you've set. And at that point, they'll be ready and willing to and able to fight. But they'll never do it without information. We've got to put the information out for the next generation to come and get it. We have failed. If we don't point Gene Roberts out, if we don't talk about Benjamin Two-Ways Goodman, if we don't talk about the sister that was a secretary for Minister Malcolm, we don't talk about James 67X. We got things to discuss. We got to talk about these things. They're not going to go away. They're not going to go away. We got to talk about it. We got to put the information out. We've got to. So that our brothers and sisters will see the truth. You got to see the truth. You got to see the truth. And then there's guidance after that. There's guidance. But if we don't see the truth, we don't discuss the truth, there's no guidance. There's nothing that we can do. Absolutely nothing that we can do. You have to understand that. Let's discuss this Gene Roberts. He was around when Malcolm returned to the United States. One of the top aides when Malcolm received the welcome, every opportunity to speak at the college students, he was there. When Malcolm addressed the public meetings of the Socialist Workers' Party, he was there. Why is this important? We say the Socialist Workers' Party. The Socialist Workers' Party is a Trotskyist communist party in the United States. That the Socialist Workers' Party began as a group that was expelled from Communism Party USA for supporting Leon Trotsky. Leon Trotsky is a Soviet leader, or Soviet, how do you put it? Soviet human rights activist. I'll put it that way. And they supported, there's a group here in America, during the time of Minister Malcolm, and they're still here. They supported Leon Trotsky over the Soviet leader, Joseph Stalin. You know who Stalin was? You know what he stood for, right? We know what Stalin is, and we know what he stood for. If not, let's talk about it because it's very, very relevant. This is, see, when you talk revolution, you're making plans. You're making plans. When you talk revolution, you're making plans, right? Socialist parties are considered militants, right? They're considered militants. Now, their paper, the Socialist Workers' Party paper, the logo on it is the militant. The Socialist Workers' Party is a Trotskyist Communist Party in the United States, right here in the United States. The Socialist Workers' Party began as a group that was expelled from the communist movement. We talked about that. For supporting Leon Trotsky. Who is Leon Trotsky? I'll give you a short synopsis. Lev Davidovich Bronstein, better known as Leon Trotsky, was a Russian revolutionary. What did he do? He was a Soviet politician and journalist and political theorist. He was a central figure in the 1905 revolution. I say again, revolution, called the October Revolution, Russian Civil War, and the establishment of the Soviet Union. This is Lev Davidovich Bronstein, Leon Trotsky. That's him. All right? And he was Jewish. You have to know that he was Jewish, right? He's talking about power, the move of power. Now, Malcolm spoke in front of them. Now, until the collapse of the Soviet Union, the Socialist Workers' Party was the largest Trotskyist organization in the United States. During the 1960s, 1970s, the SWP, or the Socialist Workers' Party, and its young wing, the Young Socialist Alliance, right? That's the Socialist Party's young wing, is the Young Socialist Alliance. This was a Trotskyist youth group of the Social Workers' Party in the United States of America. It founded in 1960. 1960. It founded itself. It had roots going back several years earlier, and it was dissolved in 1992. So they say. Probably when they said dissolved, probably dispersed to other organizations. The SWP was the third largest socialist organization after the CPUSA, right? And what's that? And the Students for a Democratic Society. I want you to look at this, because all of this is politics, right? Politics is the plan of control, popular plan of control. The Socialist Workers' Party has suffered many splits and its membership declined. The modern SWP is smaller than its progeny, such as the Trotskyist Socialist Alternative. See this? They don't see they transform. And you got all kinds of people within this organization. You gotta use your mind. The Socialist Alternative is a Trotskyist political party in the United States. It describes itself as a Marxist organization, a revolutionary party fighting for a democratic socialist economy. Unlike the reformist progressive group, it argues that capitalism is fundamentally incapable of sustaining America. Now, and the Marxist-Leninist Party for Socialism and Liberation. If you look at the Democratic Party, and all of this, I'm just setting our groundwork, because all of this is going to explain those that had to kill Mr. Malcolm. They had to stay in control of the black organization, who is dominated by the Democratic Party. So this is why I have all of this organized this way. The Party for Socialism and Liberation. This is what the Democratic Party is moving toward. They're teaching socialism now. If the Communist Party of the United States, PSL, was established in 2004, listen to this, when its members split from the Workers' World Party. The group believes that a socialist revolution is necessary to overthrow capitalism and establish socialism. Now, I want you to see capitalism as a conservative party, and I want you to see the Party for Socialism and Liberation as a liberal party. You have to look at it that way. You have to look at it that way, because the conservatives are fighting to keep America as it is. They're literally fighting to keep America conservative. The liberal party will grab every other group, control it, and mobilize this to overthrow conservatism. Right? And if they have their way, away goes the churches, away goes same-sex, away goes the churches, away goes heterosexual marriage, away goes pregnancy, commemorating men and women. They'll begin to use surrogates. You have a bunch of same-sex marriage they're pushing for. They're doing it now, changing it over. You just got to be able to see it. Away goes the specific gender type home. Away goes the Bible. Away goes the Quran. Away goes a lot of religious organizations. All of that goes away. They'll teach against God. This is liberal. right? Because God and the study of God, right, and the study of conservative principles and view means keeping things more toward procreation between man and woman. This whole thing is to dethrone what is natural and to do whatever you want to do. Right? Right now, this kind of thinking has doctors changing the sex of 8 and 9-year-old boys and girls just because they say, hey, I'm not a man, I'm not a woman, I don't want to be. And so they'll genetically modify them by changing their sexual organs. Come on, brothers and sisters, you understand what I'm saying? I know you understand. So we're in danger. See? Because we know the true devil of this world is headed toward destruction. The true devil is headed toward destruction. Assalamu alaikum, brother Soup Bone. Assalamu alaikum. Glad to have you here. Peace, brother. The true world is ready for destruction. Now, where does Gene Roberts fit into this? There's a war, brothers and sisters, to control the masses. They don't want the rise of a black Messiah. They don't want the rise of a black Messiah. This is the danger that you and I are under today. They don't want that. Right? Not only does the Democratic Party don't want it, the Republican Party don't want it. So the Socialist Party don't want it, and the Capitalist Party don't want it, right? None of them want it. And the biggest supporters of these parties, like the Democratic Party, believe that black people are under some demonic obligation to support them because they're Democrat. The Democrat Party don't care anything about black people. Proof of which they've been in charge for nearly 70 to 90 years now. They don't care anything about black people. It's a numbers game. Black people run around here talking about the Democratic Party, we're in trouble. You're talking about the Democratic Party, we're in trouble, and they won't even allow you the right to vote. You still fighting for your right to vote yet. They talking about the Democratic Party's in trouble. Are we in trouble? They still won't give you the right to vote while you're out of your mind. Absolutely insane. Besides, you should have better sense than to support any white organization. You should have. You should have better sense than to support any white organization in America. You should have your own organization to support. You have the Coffee Party. You have the Freedom Now Party. These are black parties. You should be supporting yourself. You should be merging independently and supporting yourself. But it's the fear that the white man put in you and the manipulation of getting others that look like us that don't have the same concerns that we have. And this is what's destroying us, brothers and sisters, to this very day. To this very day. And it's sad. I feel sad. I feel sorry for us. I feel sorry for us. Because not many of us know how to stand. And I'm not sure many of us even want to stand. And the man used death over your head. It's like it's nothing you can control. And there are preachers preaching right now that you shouldn't do anything to defend yourself. They say you shouldn't carry a gun and all of that. I'm not telling you to. I wouldn't tell you to carry a gun for the sake of carrying it. But you're out of your mind if you're a man and you have a family and you won't defend it. And white people can come into your house to kill your wife and children. Brothers and sisters, you're out of your mind. There's nothing Christian about being unarmed. The white man learned from him. He's a Christian and he arms himself every day. And he goes target practicing every day. As a matter of fact, he shows you on YouTube. He shows you when he's gunning you down in the street. When he's teaching his children how to gun you down by taking them hunting. I'm just telling you. Many of you, anytime you have a crisis in the black community and somebody black being killed, then you act nonviolent. though there's more violence in your community of brothers and sisters cutting and shooting one another and killing the children. You got to wake up, brothers and sisters. You got to wake up. Our people are sick. Our people are sick. Our people are sick. They do a lot of cutting and shooting of one another and beating of one another and lying of one another and manipulating one another, turning you over to the man. Lying. We got to wake up. I decided I'm just going to follow God. I'm going to follow God. I'm not going to let anything stop me from following God. I've got to follow God, and I got to do right. I've got to. And be the best father I can be, and be the best brother I can be the best husband I can be the best friend I can be to our people. But not only that, tell them the truth. Even if it set them on fire, tell them the truth. Let the truth set them on fire in the right way. We've had death of Tupac, Left Eye, Aaliyah, Malcolm, Martin, Huey, you name it. Tupac, Biggie. All of these deaths we had in our community. Grandmaster Grandmaster Flash. We've had too much death in our community. Sister Betty Shabazz, Coretta Scott King, Fred Hampton. All of these deaths we've had in our community. And people have known about it and have participated in evil, have done evil, or have kept their mouths, or have seen danger come to these people, and instead of handling it and telling the black community what was going on, they let it happen. While you're just as guilty as the person that did it, if you've ever been in that situation. Brothers and sisters, is there no bomb in Gideon? Is there no bomb in Gideon? I want to read a little bit of what the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad says about this. I want to read that. It's important. We got to read. We got to read this truth. We read this truth, brothers and sisters, we'll be on our way to salvation. We'll find salvation if we read the truth. If we don't read the truth, we'll never get it. Let's read page 203, Separation, Independence. This message to the black man. Message to the black man. Message to the black man. Separation or independence. With the right of understanding and with business unity, we can turn the great flow of millions of dollars that leave black communities and go into the hands of white businesses back into the pockets of poor black men and women who would benefit most by it. How can we do this? First, we must stop being so foolish as to spend our few hard-earned dollars with the rich of this land. Those of us who are wealthy or rich should help set up independent businesses which our people need, which could add wealth to our communities. With such cooperation of our own businessmen, we could actually help lower prices and provide employment for a multitude of unemployed. We have to have a do-for-self mentality. Those of us who are wealthy or rich should help set up independent business. That's the key. That's the key. But to be successful, we must have some of this earth to produce our own people's need. For example, in Chicago, Illinois, as well as in other communities throughout the country, the black man is robbed through giant culturate stores owned exclusively by white men who make it almost impossible for independent stores owned by black people to survive. We cannot compete in business unless we unite and get some of this earth so that we can produce our own people's needs. It is the right time. It is the right time. I want to say that again. It is the right time that we seek separation and independence for the nation from the evil of our open enemies and not the foolish things other organizations are doing. They want our people integrated into our open enemies to be destroyed as a people. They seek that recognition which demands better qualifications, education, the knowledge of self and others, manners, self-respect, and the respect of others. But our people just do not have these qualifications until they first come to Islam and bear witness to what Allah God has revealed to me. This is Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad talking. No intelligent and refined society will accept us until we have the above stated qualifications. We got to do something for ourselves. We want everybody else to accept us. Brothers and sisters, we got to do something for ourselves. Can't do it as crowd pleasers. We got to do something for us. Now, let's get the believers. We're in the Quran now. We're in the Quran. We'll read the last surah, Surah 23, 116, verse 116. This is in the Holy Quran, Surah 23, verse 116. One God only. Exalted is God, the true King. There is no God worthy of worship except him, the Lord of the honorable throne. Whoever invokes beside God another God for which they can have no proof, they will surely find their penalty with their Lord. Indeed, the disbelievers will never succeed. As he advises the prophet, say, O prophet, my Lord, forgive and have mercy, and you are the best of those who show mercy. So we gotta be what? Steadfast. Talk about it all the time. Unmovable, always abounding in the work of God. We gotta abound in the work of God. God is calling us. God is calling us to be busy in his work. Brothers and sisters, that's about all I have. Was hoping that we got our brother on. And I'm sure he was busy. This brother is busy. So I'm sure he was busy. Wasn't able to get on with us. That's okay, though. We've got other shows coming up. Not tomorrow, but the next night we'll be meeting. Tomorrow we'll be off, but the next night we'll be meeting. We'll be talking about some heavy stuff then. Because that's going to be pushed back. Tomorrow's going to be pushed back. But we'll be talking about, matter of fact, tomorrow will be pushed back to 7:30 on the 20th, I believe it is. Women know the 21st. The 21st. So we'll see you again on the 21st. And as you see, we got a long marathon line. We got to get through this and explain it. And then we'll be able to, we'll be up to par to begin to really answer some questions. But I certainly would tell you to chime in, and anything you have to say, Brother Subone, no, you put it in there. If I could address it, I'm going to address it. But just know one thing, Farrakhan is dying. Farrakhan is the voice of black people. This is what America, the one who controls America, has made him the voice of black people. What will you do when Farrakhan is gone? That's the question. What will you do when Farrakhan is gone? He's leaving. Farrakhan is leaving. Farrakhan is dying. And once he's dead, once the rulers of this country realize that he's gone, all hell is going to break loose. Because I tell you, you got some soldiers now that are young, and I would never think to say that they're crazy, but they are. They're simply crazy. Literally crazy. Literally crazy. Brother Subon, I gotta say something. Just hear what I'm saying. Just hear what I'm saying. Irregardless of Farrakhan's position, irregardless, the standard within the black community, somebody who's used as a standard, irregardless of whether they've been put there or not, we can agree to disagree on that. We can literally agree to disagree on that. My point is that the structure within the black community is going to take another turn. It's already taken a turn, but it's going to be an advanced turn that is going to take. And the communities behind us, young brothers and sisters, we got to educate them. However much we disagree, we got to educate them on the truth, what's happening, what will happen if we don't get it together. We've got to educate the community. We got to come to a place of atonement with one another. Black people have to come together. We've got to forgive one another and unite with one another. Does anyone see what's happening while Trump is running for president? And he'll get it. He'll get it. But we're in trouble whether it's Trump or Biden. It has nothing to do with them. It has everything to do with the generation of young whites who are pushing racism. This whole thing, and I talked about it the other day, this whole thing with Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. This is open war for racism. This white boy wanted to make an example out of Mike Tyson. He wanted to make an example. And I really believe that Mike Tyson was discouraged from bothering him. I know he said he has health conditions. The doctors are telling him to be careful. But I really believe that they know that Mike Tyson would have beat the hell out of that white boy, and they didn't want it to happen because they knew that when white people, the way they feel now, when they get crazy, they know black people going to get crazy too. You got a lot of black people and white people on edge right now. But my point is this. When Gene Roberts came into the nation, because he was in the nation, then he went out of the nation, came over to the Organization for Afro-American Unity. He was familiar with Wallace Waradeen Muhammad, who was being used by the government to keep control of black people, but also to distort our minds, and get us off our path of independence, economic freedom, and liberation. Because if they ever was a chance that we could do it, was back then and now. It's strange. But if you look, it's 2024. The change, the turn of the century in the 60s was 64. The change, the turn of the civil rights movement was 54. So you gotta see this. There's a pattern that's going on. There's a strong pattern that's going on. You look at the March on Washington that happened in the 40s, was organized by A. Philip Randolph in 44. All you got to do is keep on going back. Go back to 24. What's happening? You have black independent education system and black independent schools, separate but equal. So we, after quote unquote physical bonding, we was on our way as black people being together. Right? Because Tulsa, Oklahoma was built. What? It was built as a result of 1864. When we come out, 1865 was emancipation, right? Yeah, because the Civil War and stuff was over. So you got 64, right? Then you go 74 is homestead. 84 is independent black business and industry, right? 94 to 1904, right? We dealt with what? We dealt with independent business, rise in the stock market, and things of that nature. So what I'm saying is, whatever the playing field is, we have to understand that we must come together. We can't allow ourselves to be used and misused by the devils that are oppressing us all. There's never an easy answer, and we have no alternative than to stand. That's the only alternative we have. The only alternative we have is to stand. So I just want to say that. It don't matter who it is, what leader it was. Look at Our brother Fred Hampton, he was killed from an insider. It looked just like us. There are agents that look like us that have to be dealt with. That's all I'm saying. Gene Roberts and agents allowed to peep into the Nation of Islam, peep into Organization of Afro-American Unity, same one to organize brothers to investigate, assimilate, and invade and integrate the New Black Power movement, Black Nationalist movement, the Black Panther movement, the New Black Panther Party. I'm just saying. So we got to be wise. We got to be wise and intelligent today. But brothers and sisters, that's all I have for you. I really don't have anything else. Gene Roberts, we know what he was. We've been around long enough, and he's still walking around here today if he's not dead. We allowed them to die a natural, nice death. We've got to start dealing with those in our community that betray us. That's all I'm saying. And I'm not talking about people you have a problem with. I'm saying people who betray you. We've got to shun them in such a way and figure something else out that we won't have to worry about anybody else doing that to us ever again. That's the only thing that I'm saying. That's all that I'm saying. And we got to get wise to it, brothers and sisters, because it's happening too much in our community. Too much in our community. The white man, if one of his brothers come against him and sell him out, he's going to deal with him. He's going to deal with him. Now, as far as us, I don't know why we won't deal with our own. I don't understand. I have no answer as to why we won't deal with our own. I don't know. But we've got to figure something out because we have this recurring too much. It's recurring too much. We've got to love one another. We've got to embrace one another's ideas and there's no one opinion that is right. But there's a way that all of our creativity, our inventions, and all these things can work together. There's a way. But it won't be with us betraying one another. I know that. We can't keep betraying one another. It's dangerous for us. And in the end, we will be the only ones that will suffer, brothers and sisters. I'm discouraging anyone that believes being an agent is the right way. No matter how much money they give you, it's not going to work for us. We've been called to a greater purpose. We've been called to a greater purpose. God has called the black man of this world and the black woman of this world to save this world. We've got to get to the place that we were on God's side. And when we get on God's side, God will be on our side. We got to forgive one another. We got to restore the family. We got to come together as a family. We got to love our children. We got to educate our children. We got to teach them how to respect authority. We've got to put the black nation on the right road. It's going to take all of us. There's no one leader. That's hypocrisy. That's ignorance. The white man is the only one that will force everyone under one leader. That's why he has to have kings and he has to have diplomats. God is calling all of us. He's calling me. He's calling you to stand right, brothers and sisters, and stand in the liberty that we have been made free. Only an almighty and awesome God can do that. And if we stand together and work together, we can change this world, brothers and sisters. That's the reason I'm on. That's the reason. Just to remind you that we all belong to God. Our life is in God's hand. Even if the man gets to the place where he feel like he want to destroy this life, you better fight to keep it all you can. All you can. You better fight to keep it. But nonetheless, God is our judge. God is our leader. God is our direction. And we'll follow him. And remember, all that we have belongs to Allah. Our life, our wealth, our intelligence. And we shouldn't give 1 inch to a demonic devil and demons that are ruining this earth. Brothers and sisters, if I didn't say it in the beginning, I'd like to say it now. Peace be unto you. Assalamu alaikum. I love you, brothers and sisters. Love your families. Husband, love your wives. Parents, love your children. And respect your ancestors. Assalamu alaikum.